When people talk about success, most of the time they talk about the destination. They talk about the money, the status, the recognition, the applause. But very few people want to really examine the road that leads to success, because that road is bumpy, full of potholes, and often feels like it's going nowhere. The truth is, success is never about the end result alone. It's about the resilience, the fight, and the ability to persevere in the face of failure. That's where the real story begins. Think about it for a second. How do you respond when life tells you no? Do you quit? Do you walk away? Or do you keep pushing until that no eventually turns into a yes? This single decision, what you do when you're rejected or when you fail, becomes the dividing line between those who succeed and those who never reach their dreams. I want to take you back to the story of Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba. He wasn't born with advantages. He didn't have wealth, powerful connections, or even an impressive academic record. In fact, he failed multiple exams in school. He was rejected by countless universities. He applied for jobs over and over again, and out of 30 companies, every single one of them said no, including KFC. Out of 24 applicants, 23 got hired. Jack Ma was the only one rejected. Can you imagine what that does to your confidence? Most people would have given up right there. Most people would have said, I guess the world is right. Maybe I don't have what it takes. But here's the lesson. Jack didn't give up. He refused to accept that rejection meant the end. He understood something powerful. The beginning is always hard. Success isn't given, it's earned, and the only way to earn it is to keep going, even when everyone tells you that you're not good enough. And Jack Ma isn't the only one. Look at Thomas Edison, the man who gave us the light bulb. He didn't succeed on the first try, or the second, or even the 100th. He failed thousands of times before he found the right formula. Thousands. Imagine failing so often that people start laughing at you, calling you crazy, telling you to stop. But Edison had a different perspective. He didn't see failure as the end. He saw it as progress. Each failure was a step closer to success. He once said, I have not failed. I've just found 0 ways that won't work. That's the mindset of someone who refuses to give up. And that's what separates successful people from everyone else. It's not intelligence, it's not luck, it's not even raw talent, it's perseverance, the willingness to keep going when every cell in your body wants to stop, the courage to rise again when life knocks you flat on your back. Now I know what you might be thinking, but Tunny, I've failed so many times already. I've been rejected. I've been told I'm not good enough. How do I keep going? And my answer is simple. You remind yourself that failure is not final. Rejection is not permanent. Every no you hear is just one step closer to the yes you've been waiting for. Take Michael Jordan, for example. He's often celebrated as the greatest basketball player of all time, but people forget that he was actually cut from his high school basketball team. Imagine being told at that age that you're not good enough to play the sport you love. Many kids would have hung up their shoes for good, but Jordan didn't quit. He used that rejection as fuel. He trained harder, practiced longer, and sharpened his skills until no one could deny his greatness. Today, he's remembered not for being cut, but for becoming a legend. And here's the truth. Success is not supposed to be easy. If it were easy, everyone would be successful. You'd roll out of bed, brush your teeth, and boom, you're a millionaire. But life doesn't work that way. Success demands something from you. It demands persistence. It demands grit. It demands that you stay in the game when others are walking off the field. Let me put it this way. Imagine you're at a family dinner, and there's only one slice of pizza left. You want it, but so does everyone else at the table. What do? Do you fight for it? Do you claim it with confidence? Or do you sit back and let someone else take it? Success works the same way, except instead of a slice of pizza, it's your dream, and instead of a 5-minute squabble at the dinner table, it's years of effort, rejection, and sacrifice. The question is, are you willing to fight for it? Because, here's the deal, life will test you. It will throw obstacles in your path. It will give you reasons to quit, and most people will quit. That's why true success is rare. But the few who refuse to give up, the ones who see rejection not as a wall, but as a stepping stone, those are the people who rise. So if you've been struggling, if you've been facing setback after setback, I want you to remember this: you're not alone. Every single person who has ever achieved greatness has walked the same road. They've been rejected, they've failed, they've been laughed at, doubted, and criticized, but they kept going. They didn't let failure define them. They let it refine them. The beginning is always the hardest part. It's supposed to be. That's how life tests you to see how badly you really want it. If you give up at the beginning, then maybe you didn't want it badly enough. But if you keep going, if you push through the rejection, the doubt, and the failures, then success becomes inevitable. So let this be your takeaway today. The power of perseverance is the foundation of success. It's not about avoiding failure, it's about embracing it. It's not about avoiding rejection, it's about learning from it. And it's not about proving the world wrong with your words. It's about proving yourself right with your actions. Keep moving forward, no matter how many times you stumble, because the ones who succeed are not the ones who never fail. They're the ones who never quit. When you set out to achieve something great, people will doubt you. That's just how the world works. At first, your vision will sound crazy to them. They'll tell you that you don't have the skills, the money, the experience, or the connections. And the truth is, in the beginning, they might be right. You may not have all the answers, you may not have the perfect resources, but here's the thing: you don't need to start with everything. You just need to start with belief, persistence, and the willingness to prove yourself through results. You see, most people try to win the world over with words. They spend endless energy explaining why their ideas matter, why their business will work, why their dream is worth chasing. But let me tell you something. Words can only go so far. People don't truly believe what you say. They believe what you do. And this is where most people stumble. They give up before they ever produce the results that could silence their critics. Think back to Jack Ma again. When he launched Alibaba, he didn't know anything about technology. He couldn't write a single line of code. He didn't know the mechanics of running a business. People laughed at him, told him he was unqualified, and called his idea foolish. And if Jack had listened to those voices, Alibaba would never have existed. But instead of debating with them, instead of wasting time trying to prove them wrong with arguments, Jack let the results do the talking. He worked, he built, and slowly, results started to appear. Over time, those results spoke louder than words ever could. Now think about Elon Musk. For years, experts ridiculed him. Electric cars, impossible. Space travel, too expensive. Colonizing Mars, a pipe dream. They said Tesla would collapse, that SpaceX would never make it past its first launch. And you know what? Musk didn't spend years arguing with his critics. He kept building, he kept testing. He kept launching rockets even when they exploded on live television. And eventually, he proved himself through results. Today, Tesla leads the electric car revolution, and SpaceX is rewriting the future of space travel. What's the lesson? Simple. The world will always doubt you until you show them undeniable proof. Words are fragile, results are solid. People may argue with what you say, but they can't argue with what you achieve. But here's the problem. Too many people quit before they reach that point. They get stuck in the rejection phase, in the criticism phase. They spend so much time trying to convince others that they forget to build proof for themselves. And eventually, they stop trying altogether. That's why perseverance is so critical. It keeps you in the game long enough to produce results that no one can deny. I want you to imagine success as a recipe. At first, you're in the kitchen gathering ingredients, you're experimenting, testing, and adjusting. The people around you will look over your shoulder and doubt your methods. Are you sure you should add that much spice? That doesn't look right. That's not how I'd cook it. And if you listen to them, you'll second guess yourself. You'll stop cooking halfway, and the meal will never get finished. But if you stay the course, if you follow through, then one day you'll serve the finished dish. And when they taste it, when they see the results, all those doubts vanish. The critics go silent. That's the power of results. And it doesn't matter whether you're building a business, writing a book, creating art, or chasing a dream. The pattern is the same. People won't believe you until you show them something tangible. That's why the phrase show, don't tell isn't just for writers. It's for anyone who wants to succeed in life. Let's look at another example. J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter. She wasn't born into success. She was a struggling single mother, living on welfare, writing in coffee shops. Publisher after publisher rejected her manuscript. 12 times she was told no, but she didn't quit. She didn't throw away her work. She didn't let rejection stop her. And then, finally, one publisher said yes. The results spoke for themselves. Today, Harry Potter isn't just a book series. It's a global phenomenon. The people who rejected her can no longer deny the truth because the results are undeniable. The same is true for athletes. Think about Michael Jordan again. When he was cut from his high school team, he didn't run around trying to explain why the coach was wrong. He didn't beg for another chance. He went to work. He practiced, he improved, and he delivered results on the court that no one could argue with. That's why today he's remembered as one of the greatest athletes in history. Here's the truth. Life doesn't reward excuses. It rewards execution. People can doubt your words, but they can't ignore your results. And that's why proving yourself through results is so much more powerful than trying to convince people with arguments. So how do you get there? How do you move from being doubted to being undeniable? It comes down to persistence. You keep showing up. You keep doing the work. You keep learning, adjusting, and improving. You don't stop just because people don't believe in you yet. In fact, you let their doubt become your fuel. You let every rejection, every criticism, every dismissal push you harder to create the results that will eventually silence them. And let me tell you, those moments of doubt and criticism are blessings in disguise. Why? Because they force you to grow. They force you to get better. They test your conviction. If success were handed to you without resistance, you'd never develop the resilience needed to sustain it. But when the world doubts you, when people say you can't, that's the perfect opportunity to prove to yourself that you can. So the next time someone tells you that you're not qualified, that your idea won't work, or that your dream is impossible, don't waste your energy arguing. Don't get caught up in proving them wrong with words. Instead, put your head down, do the work, and let the results speak for themselves. Because once the results are visible, once success is undeniable, those same critics who doubted you will be the first to applaud you. Remember this, your job is not to convince people with promises, it's to convince them with proof. Don't just talk about what you're going to do it, show it, build it, deliver it, and let the results make the statement for you. Because in the end, results are louder than words. Success, everybody wants it, but very few are willing to walk the entire journey it requires. And that's what this chapter is all about. Understanding that success isn't a single moment, it's not a lucky break, and it's not a straight road. Success is a journey. It's a path filled with obstacles, rejection, and doubt, but also with growth, resilience, and breakthroughs, and only the people who refuse to quit make it to the end of that path. Let's go back to Alibaba's early days. It wasn't glamorous. Jack Ma and his team worked out of a small apartment. They had no money, no investors, and very little support. For years, they struggled. Some days they didn't even know if the company would survive. People left, partners lost faith, but the ones who stayed, the ones who never gave up, became part of one of the most successful companies in the world. That's the reality of success. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a long, messy, unpredictable journey, and it requires relentless perseverance. Think about Michael Jordan again. He didn't become the greatest basketball player of all time by talent alone. He became great because he embraced the journey. He practiced relentlessly. He showed up when others gave up. He kept improving day after day, year after year, until his results spoke louder than anything else. That's why he's remembered as a legend. Or think about J.K. Rowling. Imagine being rejected by publisher after publisher, wondering if anyone would ever believe in your story. Most people would have quit after the first rejection. Some might have lasted through 2 or 3. But 12 rejections, that's enough to crush almost anyone's spirit. Yet she kept going. She stayed on the journey, and today, Harry Potter isn't just a book series. It's a cultural legacy. Rejection is part of the process. It doesn't mean you're finished. It doesn't mean you're not good enough. It simply means the world is testing you. Every no you hear is like resistance in the gym. It builds your strength. Every failure you face is like a teacher. It shows you what to improve. Rejection is not the enemy. Quitting is. And this is where most people stumble. They mistake rejection for failure, and they mistake failure for finality. But failure is never final unless you stop trying. The people who succeed are the ones who understand this. They see failure as feedback, rejection as redirection, and obstacles as opportunities to grow. Now, let's be real, this journey is not easy. There will be days when you're exhausted. There will be nights when you question whether it's all worth it. You'll feel doubt creep in. You'll hear the voices of critics and even the voice inside your own head telling you to quit. But that's the test. That's the moment where the journey separates the dreamers from the achievers. Because the truth is, the darkest hour always comes before the dawn. Right before your breakthrough, you'll be tempted to give up. And if you quit in that moment, you'll never know how close you really were. But if you push through, if you keep moving forward even when it feels impossible, that's when success shows up. Look at Elon Musk. He faced moments where Tesla was on the brink of bankruptcy, where SpaceX rockets exploded in front of the entire world. Most people would have walked away, but he stayed in the fight. He kept believing, kept pushing, kept going when everyone else said it was over. And because he didn't quit, he turned failure into historic success. And this is the pattern you'll see in every great story. It's not about luck. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being the one who refuses to stop walking the path. Success is not guaranteed to the strongest or the most intelligent. It's guaranteed to the ones who never give up. But here's the part that matters most, you. Your journey, your vision, your dreams, they matter, and right now, you have a choice. You can listen to the doubts, the rejections, the setbacks, and decide to quit. Or you can make a promise to yourself that no matter what happens, you will not give up. I want you to really hear this. The future is not handed to you, it is built by you. Success is not something that shows up at your door one day and says, "Here I am." No, you have to chase it. You have to fight for it. You have to earn it. And the only way to do that is to keep going, no matter how hard it gets. Don't wait for the perfect time, because perfect conditions don't exist. The only perfect time to start is now. The only perfect opportunity is the one in front of you today. So stop waiting, stop hesitating, take risks, learn from your mistakes, build momentum, and keep moving forward. Yes, there will be pain. Yes, there will be failure. Yes, there will be days you feel like quitting. But remember this, the pain is temporary, the lessons are permanent, and the reward is worth it. Because success doesn't come to those who stop. It comes to those who keep learning, keep growing, and keep showing up long after everyone else has walked away. So as you're listening right now, I want you to make a promise to yourself. Say it out loud if you have to. I will not give up. I will keep pushing. I will keep learning. I will keep growing. Because if you do that, success is not just possible. It's inevitable. And here's my call to you. Don't just be inspired in this moment. Take action, start today. Take one step, no matter how small, toward your dream. Write the first page, make the first call, start the project, launch the idea, do something, anything that moves you forward. Because success doesn't belong to those who wait. It belongs to those who act, and more importantly, to those who refuse to quit. Dream big, work hard, never give up, and watch how your journey transforms your life.